Hi all, my name is Gautam Begde and I welcome you to my YouTube channel ChatterBot. My channel is an attempt to understand the fascinating world of artificial intelligence and machine learning and present my findings in an easy to understand format. For my first video, I have chosen the topic of Hugging Face Hub. This is a platform that I have extensively worked with and I feel that all AI practitioners will find value in knowing about this platform. So let's look at the agenda for this video. We'll be talking a little bit about the Hugging Face hub and how it evolved and the philosophy behind the hub. Then we will be talking about its important features, namely models, dataset, and spaces. We will be talking about pricing, and then we will top it off with a demo to truly understand the power of this hub. So, um, so Hugging Face platform, the Hugging Face Hub is a platform which today hosts more than 1 million AI models, 220K plus datasets, and around 300K apps. So, what's so special in this? One might ask. So, what if I told you all of this is all of what I've just mentioned now? All models, all datasets, all apps are open source and publicly available. Yes, you heard it right. Hugging Face is a platform where all models, datasets, and applications are open source and readily available, practically free of cost. So there is a specific philosophy that its parent company Hugging Face had when they implemented this platform, and it was that no one company, not even any of the tech giants, can solve the AI problem itself. This is a problem that can be solved only through a community effort by pooling in resources, and likewise, using the already existing resources and not building any AI model by scratch. And this is the basic philosophy why this platform was conceived, and it keeps growing. Also, what this platform does is that it is democratizing and advancing AI adoption. Today, a company with practically no exposure to AI can actually go into this platform, find meaningful solutions to their business problems by using open source AI models, and actually find a way to deploy them rapidly without an extensive knowledge or a cost impact. So this I feel is one of the real beauty of this platform. uh, with this brief introduction, now let's go into the actual website. So the way to access the Hugging Face platform is to go to your browser and type huggingface.co. I have already put the address in the browser, and I have logged in as well. I recommend that those of you who do not have an account, you should create an account. That will actually help you and truly understand the power of this platform. So once I have logged in, once I have logged in, you can see that there are three main areas that we initially thought we'll talk about, which is models, datasets, and spaces. So let's look at models first. So I'll click on the models tab, and here at the time of publication, you can see that there are 1 million plus AI models. These are practically open source and free to use. They are publicly available. As you can see that there are a lot of models here, and I'm confident that you will be able to get to a model of your choice based on the business case that you're trying to solve. Let's look at ways in which you can filter on all these models. You can of course filter on the tasks based on what you expect the model to do. So for example, if you're trying to build a model that creates your text into an image, then you can actually click on this and get to the applicable models. You can choose one of those models. You can also choose or filter on the models based on libraries, data sets, and languages, and of course licenses. um, let's go ahead and I will reset this, and let's go to the main screen. And For the purpose of this demo, I will be going to an AI model called Blender Bot, and this model is was created by Facebook, and it's a text-to-text generation model. So it's a model you can use to create a conversational chatbot. And once you click on this model, what you see is a model card, which is basically an introduction to the model and what the model can do and how it was effectively created. You can also see downloads last month, which can give you some idea about the popularity uh, of the model or the lack of it, if applicable. You can also look at the data sets that we used to train this model. Um, and then one interesting thing that you can see is spaces, which basically refers to all the apps that are have been built by the community using this bot. So, or using this model, Blender bot model. So also, there is a way to actually, one interesting thing is a very powerful feature is that you can use this model directly by clicking on use this model, and then in this case, you see a transformer library. So transformer is a Python library. This has been created by Hugging Face, and it's maintained by Hugging Face and the community at large. So once you click on this, you will actually find the code. So this code is all that you really need to basically get access to this model, and you can copy this code into your Jupyter notebook or any other Python IDE and actually use this model. So I mean, effectively just copying a few lines of code, you have an actual access to an AI model, which you can help to build a solution for your respective unique business requirement. So that I feel is a powerful feature about models. So these models are continually evolving, and the numbers and the quality of this model is improving every passing day. So I would always recommend that go ahead and have a look at these models. Now let's start looking at datasets. So to access the datasets, you again go ahead and click the datasets tab. So you will see that there are, at the time of this video, there are 220K datasets which are available, and basically these datasets can be used for a diverse range of tasks such as translation, automatic speech recognition, and image classification. Also, one thing to note is that behind each of these data sets is a Git repository which contains the data required to generate splits for training, evaluation, and testing. And just like we have models, you can also search for the required data set based on a large number of filters like tasks, libraries, languages, and license. So we have covered models and datasets, and now let's look at spaces. So spaces, I believe, is one of the most fascinating aspects of the Hugging Face platform. So Spaces is basically a word that Hugging Face uses for demo for apps. So this is a place where you can do two things. One is you can search for spaces, which effectively means searching for the apps, and these apps, as it says, is the apps which is made by the community. So any app that you choose to create using the Hugging Face ecosystem, you can host it on the spaces, and you can also choose to share it with the community. So what you can so previously we had talked about models, and spaces is a good way to say how all these models are being used today. So you can go ahead and look for look basically get some kind of an inspiration on the kind of apps that are being built by the community, and instead of again trying to reinvent the wheel, you could probably find an app which is similar to the one you were trying to build to solve a specific problem, and then you can try to use that app as well, or to solve the problem at hand. And the second part, of course, is to create a new space. So you can actually, so not just use a model or not just use a data set from Hugging Face, you can actually also host your solution on the Hugging Face spaces and then make it available over the internet. So that is a really powerful functionality or feature of the Hugging Face app. And in subsequent videos, we will try to see or we'll try to create a video on how you can actually use a model, use a data set, and then host a solution or host your own unique solution on the Hugging Face spaces. So we have looked at models, dataset, and spaces. Now it's time to look at pricing. So for that, we need to go and click on the pricing tab, and you will see that there are several pricing options that are available by Hugging Face. And if you recall, I had mentioned that Hugging Face is free. Yes, when we use the HF Hub, we have a free option as well, and the free option comes with many good features like hosting of unlimited models, data sets, and spaces. So all of the models, data sets, and spaces that we have talked about, we have an unlimited access to that. And an unlimited access to spaces means we can create as many apps as we need, and we can make it available. We can create unlimited orgs and private repos. So orgs refers to the organizations that we can actually create an organization and add members of our team as well. And of course, access to the latest ML tools and open source, and community support. But with the free option, along with the free option, there are several other paid or premium options as well. So what we know is the pro account. So the pro account comes with all the features that are available in HF Hub, along with zero GPU and dev mode for spaces, a higher rate limit for serverless interference for inference, and an early access feature. So all of this is available just at a very nominal fee of $9 per month. And we also have an option. We also have some additional services. These services probably are built more around enterprises. So we have Spaces hardware, which helps you upgrade your the compute for your space, which is your basically your hardware for your apps, and then inference endpoint. So basically the option to deploy models on a fully managed infrastructure. So, and then finally there is an enterprise hub. So this is basically for a solution for the entire for a company, and it has many additional features which are very important from when you are implementing AI and ML solutions within an organization. So things like SSO support and dataset viewer for private datasets, priority support, manage billings, inferences, deploy inferences on your own infra. So all in all, this the solution stack from Hugging Face is quite comprehensive, and you have an option to pick the pricing that is applicable for you, or most applicable for you. So we just looked at pricing, and before we go ahead and look at the demo, there are some additional features which are good to know on the Hugging Face platform. So one is you see something called as posts. So this is basically a community post where if you have questions on how to on something regarding the Hugging Face ecosystem, you can go ahead and put your question here and expect a reply from the community. You also have docs, something called as docs, which is basically the entire documentation repository. There is a Python library. There is information on transformers, diffusers. There are demos on building apps in Gradio. So and so on and so forth. So this is really advanced and a vast amount of information. You may or may not need all of it based on what you expect to do with the Hugging Face ecosystem. But this is really a comprehensive set of documentation which you may feel like browsing at one point or the other. Then you also have something called as um, tasks. So task is basically what you can do is as it says for a specific task. When you click on a specific task, you can actually go ahead and find the models, and you can find the data sets, and you can find the spaces. So uh, we have already looked at that we can search for the Hugging Face hub using models, dataset, and spaces. But this is like a different way of looking for information or models and data sets on the hub, by actually first looking at what you want to do with the what you want to do. Say for example, if you want to do if you want a question and answering kind of a AI solution, then you can click on the task, the NLP task, question answering, and then you can go ahead and um, see what are the models that are available, what are the data sets, and what are the spaces. And there's much more information as well. So this is really a trove of information. Additionally, there is a lot of things like daily papers, posts, blog articles, learn. So this is a place where you can go ahead and actually engage with the community and learn more about AI and ML solutions. So specifically, let's look at Learn. So Learn is basically, these are courses which are hosted here by Hugging Face itself, and they teach you concepts in AI and ML, specifically from the point of view of the Hugging Face ecosystem. So there are NLP courses, reinforcement learning courses. Then there's a open AI cookbook, open source AI cookbook. So a lot of information again for you to go through as needed. So what I wanted to emphasize is that while the main offering on the Hugging Face hub is the trio of models, datasets, and spaces, there is still a lot of information that you can go through and use, which will help you actually to develop your knowledge in this field of AI and machine learning. So we've looked at the Hugging Face platform in terms of its evolution, its philosophy, and the features and functionalities that are available in this platform. Now, to truly understand the power of the Hugging Face platform, let's look at a quick demo. So for the demo, I'll be moving to the models tab again, and in this models tab, I will query for the model we had talked about earlier. That's the Blender bot model from Facebook, and to truly just easily use this model, we can actually just click on the use this model button, and then you will notice that there is a transformers library that opens up. So transformers is a Python library that is has been developed by Hugging Face, and it is maintained by Hugging Face and the community at large. So if you see over here, there is a Python code wherein you import the pipeline, and from there you import the model. So there are a couple of ways of invoking this model. What we will now do is you can actually copy this code on and copy and paste this in either a Jupyter notebook or any other Python IDE where you want to write your Python code or your AI code. I have already gone ahead and copied this on the Jupyter notebook, and we will now see how this code in action. So moving to my Jupyter notebook, you will now see that we have this Jupyter notebook, and on this notebook we have already copied this code. and then now we'll go ahead and run this code. So basically it's the same code, basically importing the transformers library, and from there importing the pipeline. And then we have basically initiated a variable called chatbot, which is going to call this particular model. So you can see the model name Facebook BlenderBot 400 distill, and then the task is a conversational task. And then so this is what you get from the code or from the library, from the model card itself. And then you need to write a couple of more uh, Python code lines for having a meaningful conversation with this model. So basically we have called this model, and then we are also calling we are also importing the conversation from transformers. I'm also putting a user message. So this message is what I would typically ask the bot. So my user message is, what are the best places to visit in US in the month of November? And then all that I'm doing is I am just placing this user message within the context of the conversation. And then when you run this, you will be able to see what is so when you actually run this code, and we'll do that shortly, you'll be able to see the question you asked, and then you go ahead and use this user message and you send it to your chatbot, and chatbot will respond uh, with a with the with an answer. So let's go through this first part of the code. Yeah, so just let's run the entire notebook first to avoid any errors. Yeah, so now I'm actually running the command to invoke the model. So that is now called, and now I am running the rest of the code, which is basically importing the conversation. I am now initializing a user message, and then now you can see I am passing this user message and trying to print what would be my input to the chatbot. So my input is, so you'll see that the system creates a conversation ID, and it prints the question that I put in the user message. And now this question is sent to the chatbot. Okay. So sometimes you may see errors like this, and then this is basically sometimes when you get these kind of errors, you need to this may not even be an error, this could just be a warning. But you saw when I send this to the chatbot, I get a response like, I would say New Orleans, it is the most populous city in the United States. And then as what typically we do is that we try to have when we interact with the chatbot, it's not a one way, it's not just a single question, it's like actually a conversation. So in context of that, I am trying to ask the chatbot another question. So my question here is any other place, and I am placing this question to the chatbot, and I am trying to see what it responds. So yeah, so it gives me an answer at this point of time. No, this is the only one I could think of at the moment. I'm so sad. So at this point of time, you may see that the chatbot you would think has given a correct answer, but a lot of time LLMs are unable to maintain context. So or the AI models are unable to continue the context. So for that, in order to have a meaningful conversation with the chatbot, it is wise to have a command like this, where you add a message and then you you basically specify the roles and your question over here. So in this case, the chatbot will try to initiate or remember the previous conversation and try to continue that conversation. So this is the question I have given, and now, so my question. So if you see now in this case, when I add this message, my conversation is not just one question, but it is the entire context. So the first question which I asked, which is what are the best places to visit in US in the month of November, and the assistant had replied, I would say New Orleans. It is the most populous city in the United States. And then my follow-up questions, what else do you recommend, which I have put in the previous line. And now I will go ahead and try to place this to the, send this to the chatbot and try to see what it answers. Yeah. And when, so now you see the context is getting maintained. The conversation is flowing from the beginning. There was an initial question which I asked. There was an initial response from the assistant, and then for my follow-up question, the assistant gave some somewhat relevant answer. So in this way, we can ascertain that the conversation is maintaining the context, and this is kind of just to give you an idea of what the how the AI models can be used. So you can see over here, using a little less than 10 lines of code, I have been able to use an already existing AI model which has been created. I have not created the model, I have just invoked the model, and I've been able to successfully have a conversation as I had intended using this model. So this is just to show, this small example is just to show that through one line of code, I called a already existing model, and I was able to use this model. So this is really, this is really the power of the Hugging Face Hub, and of course, when you go to production, for when you want production ready solutions, there'll be much more complexity. But in such cases as well, invoking the model is easy, and everything is done for us, already done by the platform behind the scenes, and we only need to call this model. So that kind of concludes this video on Hugging Face platform. I hope you like this video, and please share any feedback and about this video. And until next time, thank you. Bye.